Welcome, everybody. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. We're back in the Psychology of Eating podcast, and I'm with Diana today. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you. Thank you, Marc.
Glad you're here. And what we're doing is this is our opportunity for you to be my client for a session and see if we can help move you forward in whatever you want around food and body. So if you could wave your magic wand and have what you wanted with any type of food or body challenge, what would that be for you?
Losing weight.
Losing weight. All right. How much weight do you want to lose?
I could afford to lose a good 40 to 50 pounds.
Got it. So what weight would that put you at? If you lost 40 to 50 pounds, how much would you weigh?
Probably about 140.
Okay. When was the last time you were at that target weight?
Probably, oh goodness, I've had 6 kids. I can't remember, to be honest with you. I do know after my 4th, I had a really hard time taking off the weight. So I was struggling then, and he is 94. He's 28 years old. And then I had 2 more after that, which doesn't help. Then you get into the middle age metabolism slump. But I've tried for many years. My baby is 18. So I'd say for at least 16 years, I've worked to take the weight off. I've worked with personal trainers. I've gone to naturopaths. I've gone to functional medicine doctors, and they've all given up on me. And what my naturopath actually said, she checked with a doctor in Germany and said, there's just some people that can't lose weight and you must be one of them. And I just never accepted that as that just can't be.
How old are you, Diana?
I'm 57.
57. So you've already gone through the menopause experience?
Yes.
How long ago?
A long time. I was probably late 40s. I was early menopause.
Okay. And when you've seen a bunch of doctors in the past, did they work with hormones in any way with you?
Yes. Yeah, I did have somebody that did compounding hormones, and that didn't help. The functional medicine doctors, I felt like my meals were pills, all the things that they were trying to do. Now, unfortunately, because I was mainstream medical for most of my adult life, up until maybe 15 years ago, I had a lot of issues with my thyroid, and I knew it. And I kept begging my doctor, and he kept making excuses. Oh, it's just because you just had a baby. Oh, it's just because you're nursing. Oh, it's because you're stressed out with homeschooling. He always made excuses for me. So by the time I went alternate and was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, it was autoimmune disease in my body, which makes that even harder to deal with. So metabolic resistance, a couple different autoimmune diseases. I've had great success managing my health in every way. I mean, for all that I have going against me, I'm doing really well, but I really need to lose this weight so I have more energy and stamina.
So where's the Hashimoto's at these days?
It's stable. I pretty much follow a paleo eating plan. I try to eat whole foods. Because of autoimmunity, I've been told to avoid grains and dairy. Dairy messes me up. I know that. So I just try to eat as clean as possible. I'm on NP thyroid, a very low dose of that. I actually cut the dose in half because of all the other holistic things I was doing. So I have support there, and everything else, I just work with my body holistically. Nobody's working with me at this point because I kind of gave up.
And when you were working with the practitioner who was working with hormones, what kind of hormones were you getting?
Oh, goodness, that was so long ago. I don't remember. I really don't remember. I just know he put together a little concoction that I picked up at the pharmacy.
So that was so long ago. Roughly how long ago?
It probably would have been a good 12, 13 years ago.
Got it. So when was the last time you had a hormone panel and somebody looked at levels of estrogen, testosterone?
That would have probably been with my functional medicine doctor about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And
maybe 4.
Was there anything noteworthy that came out of that conversation?
Not that he said. No, he was given me, what was it? He was he was working with my A something. This is bad. When you're pre-diabetic, A something,
Okay.
or H something. Anyway, he was trying to just bring everything into balance, and he did it. He did a good job. We got into balance, but the scale wasn't moving.
Mm-hmm. So you consider yourself fast eater, moderate eater, slow eater?
Very slow eater. I'm the last one done all the time.
Mm-hmm. And you've mentioned that you want to lose the weight in part because you want to have more energy. You seem like a person that has a lot of energy to me. Am I mistaken?
No, I do, but I'll wear out pretty quickly. So I have 4 grandchildren, and I feel it when I'm with them, that I just get tired quickly. But no, I mean, I run 2 businesses. I'm a very active person, but I just, the excess weight just isn't healthy. I know that, and I feel it with my joints. So I just know I'll feel better if I can get in better shape. Mm-hmm. And I don't have the stamina to exercise as much as I need to because I tire quickly.
Uh-huh. So you have an interesting conundrum because it sounds like you've had a lot of good medical intervention in terms of, I'm always going to be looking for if you're doing the right things with diet, if you were doing the right things with exercise. And have you had any periods of time where oh my goodness, weight started coming off? No. Actually,
I did something that probably messed me up. HCG was a big thing a number of years ago. Yes, I did that. I did drop the weight. And then once I stopped that, the weight started creeping back, even though, again, my husband's biggest complaint for me is that I don't eat enough. He lives with me. He's like, you're not eating enough to keep your metabolism going. But then as I saw the weight creeping on, it's like, I don't want to go back. Well, I'm back now. So that was the only time is when I did that HCG thing. But then I later found out that probably messed up my hormones.
Oh, that's a very low calorie diet on top of
it. It is.
It's basically a starvation diet. I don't like it.
Yeah. No, it's terrible.
No, I'm unclear why a lot of practitioners get behind that.
Yeah. One functional medicine doctor told me to do it.
Yeah. It's, everybody has the tools that they have in their toolkit.
Yeah.
And great. We can make you lose weight. I could tie you up in the basement and not feed you for a week. And there's a weight loss strategy. I don't know that that's sustainable or is going to make you happy. So here's how I frame it, or in part how I frame it when I hear your story. I'm looking for, okay, what's happening in the body that we might not have discovered? So normally if something's holding you back from a body perspective, on average, it's going to be some version of diabetes or pre-diabetes. It sounds like it's not a big issue for you.
I am pre-diabetic according to my blood sugar.
Yes. Okay. But relative to the diet that you're on, if you're following a mostly paleo diet, that should help manage that. Okay. So that weight loss is in the best part of the probability curve. So usually then it's about thyroid concerns, and Hashimoto's is just a strange dis-ease.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bucking bronco. You don't know what it's going to do next. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm just noticing that in the back of my mind. And, the other piece is just your overall hormonal picture and, working and trying to tweak that. So, after that, there are, from a metabolic perspective, there's other strategies to look at. Sometimes for people, heavy metal toxicity. Have you been tested for heavy metals?
I have not. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So that would be, If it was me and I was in your shoes, I would be interested to know if I'm carrying excess mercury in my body, because for some people, for whatever reason, mercury toxicity can mimic, it can call forth so many different symptoms: brain fog, joint pain, digestive issues, weight loss, resistance, weight gain, immune challenges. So, and it could affect thyroid. So that's something I would be interested in finding, a good functional medicine doctor where you are who can test you for heavy metals. Ideally, you want to do a challenge test where they'll give you a certain kind of pill and it's going to cause you to excrete essentially minerals from your body. It'll cause you to excrete mercury, and that's a way that they have to measure to get a good sense of what's the heavy metal load in your body. So that's something I would look at. Okay. You haven't had cancer before, have you?
No.
Are you on any prescription drugs?
Just for the thyroid.
Just for the thyroid. Were you on any prescription drugs over the last 20 years for a long period of time?
No.
No antidepressants?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. The only thing, I was on a statin for a while, but I didn't want that. I had a test that showed that there's no buildup in my arteries. So I thought, even though I've had cholesterol, why bother lowering it if it's not a danger? Exactly.
Good for you. Good for you. Cholesterol drugs are actually the number one selling category of drugs on planet Earth. Yeah. Drug companies sell more cholesterol medications than any other kind of medication, just about. And I don't like how it's prescribed like candy.
Right.
Regardless, so to me, I always think of weight loss as a journey. Going on a journey. And on your journey to get where you wish to go, you try everything that you can that is reasonable and sensible. That sounds like it's a good thing to check the box off of. At the same time, there's a place where I'm noticing for you that you have an interesting conversation about your energy level. You said to me, I notice my energy level when I'm with my 4 grandkids. Excuse me, if I'm with 2 kids, I notice my energy level gets a little bit disrupted very quickly. Yeah. You're in your late 50s and you've given birth to 6 human beings? Yeah. And nurtured them. And you look very clear. You look like you have good energy, and your energy, like everybody else's energy, it has its limits. Right. So I don't know. I really don't know if you have a good assessment for yourself of what your energy really is. I'm going to guess that your energy level is fine. Okay. And that what's in the back of your mind is, well, if I lose weight, I'm going to have more energy because somehow the weight is making me heavier. So yeah, weight does make you heavier. But the reality is you don't seem to me like a heavy person. Oh, and I am. The term heavy, I'm using the term heavy, you could be 110 pounds and be heavy. Oh, I hear you. I'm talking like as a person. Some people just have a heavy emotional presentation. I hear you. We're burdened. We're carrying a lot of stuff. We don't lighten up. Yeah. We don't smile. We don't have a good time. We don't feel like life is on our side. You don't occur to me like that. No, I agree. You're right. You're a light person. You're not emotionally heavy. Right. Which I think is a wonderful key, because there's so many people who want to lose weight, who have weight to lose, and they want to lose weight so they can be lighter. but meanwhile, their life feels heavy to them.
Yes.
And you can lose all the weight in the world, but if you're heavy,
yeah,
mindset, you're going to still be heavy.
You're exactly right.
So to me, you have enough energy. And I'm going to guess that the main impact for you about having extra weight right now is that you don't want to have it.
It does put stress on the joints. And I don't exercise like I need to. And I know that I always think to internally for heart health, because I do have sarcoidosis. I need to be exercising and exercising the lungs, but I get too tired to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of overall health for sure.
So to me, while you're working on a weight loss journey, what I would love to see you do is consider, and this is going to take some mental gymnastics, but consider how can you begin to adapt to the body that you have right now. So that on the one hand, I wish to lose weight. That is a completely reasonable desire. And on the other hand, how do I adapt to this body such that I can give it the best opportunities to be healthy and feel healthy?
Right.
So in other words, there's certain kinds of exercises you can do that's not your typical cardio that's going to tire you out, but will still have you be in your body. Swimming is an example. Anything you can do in a pool, anything you can do in water. Yeah.
It's easy on the joints.
Easy on the joints. Bicycling might be something that you do.
Yeah.
Walking might be something that you choose to do. Light, gentle yoga is something you could do. So I would also consider helping your body sweat more. Once you start to sweat, that means, generally speaking, you're burning some calories. So, and because it might be harder for you right now to do the kind of exercise that's going to get you sweating, one of the great things you could do is get one of these infrared sauna home units. Some of them are very reasonably priced. They're like a little tent that you put on the floor, and it's a one-person thing, and you slip your body in and you're in there for, 15 minutes and you sweat.
Okay.
So that's a very gentle and passive way to tweak your metabolism a little bit and maybe kickstart some of the fat burning that would otherwise happen if you can sweat through cardio. Because for some people that can stimulate weight loss. At the very least, even if it doesn't stimulate weight loss, it's going to stimulate detox.
Yes. Yeah.
Which will be healthy for you.
Absolutely. Good idea.
Yeah. So it's learning to do things that are supportive of where you are right now. Instead of, I wouldn't want to see you living in the mindset of, well, if I don't lose weight, I'm not going to be healthy.
Right.
Because here's the thing. There's just a wonderful book that has incredible research called Health at Every Size. Dr. Linda Bacon. And she's compiled all the compelling research that basically shows, something, you can be completely unhealthy at perfect weight. Yeah. How many humans have you and I ever met who have ideal weight and they have some disease? Yeah, true. So disease doesn't distinguish between weight for so many human beings. Yes, you're right. There's a point where for a subset of people, extra weight equals poor health. For a group of people, too little weight equals poor health. Right. So you having 40 pounds more than you wish to have does not mean, therefore, I will be unhealthy, therefore, I won't live long, therefore, I will get all these diseases, and therefore, I will die young. Not true. Right, right. Yeah, I agree 100%. You're a relatively healthy human being. You present as healthy. You present as energetic. You could be, conceivably, you could be the kind of person who has this weight until you're 99.
Mm. Yeah. My mindset has been, because I struggled for so long, when I did start to find tools, when all these doctors gave up on me, I took my medicine or my medical journey into my own hands. And I've had incredible success. I used to be sick all the time. I'm not really sick anymore. And if something happens, I know what to do to get better naturally. So because of that, my mindset became, I'm going to just heal from the inside out. I'm going to do what I need to do to support my body with my supplements, my nutrition, all of that. And the weight will eventually come off. So that's where I've settled. And instead of waiting till I was healed to help others, I've started helping others with at least what I've been helped from. So that's where my mindset is. But
I love that. So you're a healthier human being. Yeah. And all these practices that you've learned and all these distinctions that you've learned, even though you haven't lost the weight.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
To know. Now, there's always, first of all, even if you were at perfect weight, you and I are always going to have symptoms. There's always going to be a symptom that shows up because the body gets old. And no matter what we eat, no matter how good your diet is, eventually we're going to end up in the same place.
Right.
So there's a place where I just want to make sure that you don't make your happiness dependent on you losing weight.
Yeah.
And you don't make your health in your mind dependent on you losing weight, because you've already proven to you and to life that you can be healthier by various practices, even though you haven't lost weight. Right.
That's true.
So we don't know what God has in mind for you on your journey. We all learn differently. We all have a different journey with our body. And sometimes we could do everything right for weight loss and it doesn't come off. I've seen it.
Okay.
And sometimes, you do a silly thing, you give up gluten and the weight comes off.
Right.
Or, give up dairy and some sugar and your weight comes off. So it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
And I just want to say what I hear you doing is so many healthy things for your body, which has resulted in more health. So I think to myself, great, you're on the right track. And the only tweak I would make is just embracing that, okay, right now, this is my body. I want to lose weight. And at the same time, paradoxically, what if I had this body forever?
Yeah. Come to peace with that instead of waiting. Yeah. One thing too, with, you're the psychology of eating. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, I don't know if this is a negative, because I'm real big into mindset now, just because it's powerful. Your mind is powerful. I think somehow because of my journey and doctors saying, well, you can't eat gluten, you can't eat dairy. Well, I don't want to, just because I know it hurts me. But I wonder too, did I learn along the way? Because I don't think you should necessarily view a food as bad. Unless it's just total garbage. But could there be something in a mindset of a fear-based something with food? Are you tracking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's what I would say about that. There are many human beings who are particularly prone to allergies or food allergies or food sensitivities. And what can be happening for some people is that if I am living with too much stress in my system, if I have post-traumatic stress, PTSD, if I'm just constantly in a stress state because of my life, my lifestyle, the challenges of life, or if I'm in a stress state because of the stressful thoughts I think, I'm no good, I'm too fat, I hate myself, life is terrible, I'll never be loved. Those are stressful thoughts.
Yeah.
This food is bad for me, don't eat it. Oh my goodness, I'm craving that food. Oh my goodness, I just ate some of that food. That makes me a bad person. So all that's creating a stress response. In a stress response, what happens? Our digestive capacity decreases. our assimilative capacity decreases. We excrete nutrients when we eat under stress. The immune system is suppressed more when we eat under stress. So foods that normally might be fine for you, when you're under stress, your body can't handle it so well. Because normally your digestion and your immune system, by the way, the digestive system has a majority of the immune tissue that's in the body. 60, 70% of all the immune tissue in the human body lives in the digestive tract.
Yeah.
That's because we're constantly taking in things from the outside right into our body via eating. So you want to have a lot of immune power in your gut to handle organisms and toxins and anything that hitches a ride on your food.
Sure.
So bottom line is stress, which could mean normal life stresses, or my stressful thinking, self-attacking thoughts, negative thoughts. Yes, that can impact us. So I love a positive mindset. Here's what happens if we think sugar is a bad food, sugar is bad for me. What happens is that languaging can impact us. So what happens if we label sugar bad and then I eat sugar? What most people hear is you're a bad person for eating sugar. And what do you do to bad people? You make them feel guilty and you punish them. So when we feel like I'm a bad person because I ate a bad food, we go into guilt, shame, self-abuse.
Yeah.
As opposed to, instead of, I like to look at foods not necessarily as good and bad, but what foods tend to enhance my health? What foods tend to detract from my health?
Yeah.
I will tend to gravitate towards foods that enhance my health, or that I think enhance my health, or that feels like it.
Right.
I will tend to shy away from foods that detract from my health. But the reality is, I don't eat much sugar. I don't eat much, like gluten kind of desserts. But yeah, I might have one every once in a while. I go to a family gathering, whatever. And I eat it and I love it and I enjoy it, and it doesn't impact me in a bad way.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a relaxation state when I'm eating it, which is the optimum state of digestion and assimilation and immune health and calorie burning capacity.
Yeah.
So the mind impacts the body.
It sure does. Now that was really good. That was good.
So really what I would love to see you do is to continue on the journey that you're on. Yeah, I want to see what can I do to stimulate weight loss. So a couple of suggestions to start to modify your movement. So you do things you love to do or that you enjoy doing. Like, don't do exercise if it makes you miserable.
Right.
Find the kind of movement where you go, oh, this feels good. Put on some music and do some light dancing. Put on some music and do some light stretching or light yoga on the floor. Find the kind of movement or stretch or yoga class that feels good for your body.
Right.
And your temperament. Again, swimming is a great one. Walking is a great one. Anything you do in the water will support your body. And alongside that, I would start to explore, finding the kind of doctor who can maybe get a little bit more current with what's going on with hormones, somebody who does bioidentical hormone replacement, and see if you can work with a new person.
Yeah. I know this is something that's been on the back burner for a long time. I'm pretty sure I have one mercury filling, and I would know I'd need to go to see a bioidentical dentist. Would you say that the mercury and possible heavy metal toxicity would be first before checking hormones? Which is more important to you?
I would probably look at your mercury situation and get tested for, just mercury levels in the body.
Okay.
And, be aware that genetically, we're all different when it comes to heavy metals. There are people who literally will ingest heavy metals. Let's say you'll get mercury from the tuna salad that you eat. And within a day, you'll excrete that mercury. It's gone.
Wow.
There are other human beings who your body just stores it. Your body goes, whoa, this isn't good for me. I can't necessarily excrete it, so I'm just going to throw it into the fat tissue.
Yeah.
And just, try to isolate it somehow. So some people sort of hang on to mercury and other heavy metals. Others don't to any great degree. So that's something I would look at.
Okay.
Because even though you only have one mercury filling in the body, you might have had many mercury fillings in the past.
I did.
Yes, as did I. And so it'll just be interesting to look at that, because that can be a place to work.
Okay.
And if it is a fact that you have high mercury levels, then you want to work with somebody who can help you detox that. And there's different ways to do that.
Yeah.
There's different kinds of IVs that you get hooked up to that chelate mercury from the body. There's different kinds of supplements, substances, chemicals that you can take that chelate heavy metals from the body. So you can take them orally. So there's different ways to help move that out of the system. It could take a while. It could, months to even a year or two. Mindset is important. Mindset is important, meaning how can I be with this body and not look at my weight as, oh, if I have this extra weight, therefore it means I'm going to have poor health.
Right.
Because you're disproving that as we speak. You've already disproved that to yourself. You can be at this weight and be a healthier human being than you were before.
Exactly. Yeah. You're right.
So what are you taking away from this conversation that feels really useful for you?
Well, definitely the mercury and looking at the heavy metal toxicity. I've thought of that because I started studying functional medicine. It's been part of my journey. And I've learned a lot, and I knew about that, but I was just afraid to do that by myself because I did become my own doctor. So I want to do that. And then maybe revisit the hormone thing. I think that's important because it has been a long time.
Yes. And consider getting an infrared sauna for the house.
My sister has one and she lives next door.
Does she like it?
Well, we just moved here. We both built our houses next to each other, but she can't get it to work. So we gotta get that working, and then I'll just go next door and hang out in hers.
Perfect.
Yeah. Excellent. Yep. Yeah. And I like what you said too about just doing movement that you enjoy. So I've been trying to walk with friends and get out. We just bought an exercise bike so I can gently do that while I listen to your podcast, and just some fun things like that. So, but no, I think the hormones and the heavy metal, I think it's time for me to visit that.
Yeah. Good for you. It feels like you have the right approach, Diana. You have the right attitude, and don't let your weight stop you ever from being the happy person that you naturally are and enjoying the life that you've been given.
Right. Amen to that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. This has been helpful for sure.
Yeah, I really appreciate the conversation. I appreciate you. And I'm glad we did this.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Diana. And take care, everybody.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care. And remember, having the body you want starts with loving the body you have.